Hello and welcome to I Am Geek. This is episode 93. How you guys doing today? I'm Ryan. I'm here with my brother Chris and our good pal Katrin. You guys doing great tonight?
Yeah, feeling 93-ish.
You look it.
Yeah.
Look
like an old man.
Am.
You look like one of the grandpas from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, laying in your bed there.
Basically, right now, if you've seen the Goldbergs, I've turned into the dad from the Goldbergs because when I come home, I take off my pants, remove my belt, and sit down in a chair.
That gives everybody a good thought.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I had hernia surgery, and so I'm laying down right now with a cold pack on my belly
and no pants.
Pants.
Oh, that's great.
It's good.
I wish I'd have got the memo because
it's no pants day here at I Am Geek.
I would have freed these dogs.
What? Your feet?
That was from a show that I watched the other day. That might have been from the Gold. Was it from the Gold? It was, I don't know. It was a show, and he took his pants off and he said, "Man, I got to free these dogs." And they look at him like, "What? What dogs? What do you have in your pants?" Forget what show that was on, but it was pretty funny. Should have wrote it down. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of stuff happening today. We're going to talk. This is sort of going to be one of our hodgepodge episodes where we skip all over the geeky universe,
multiverse,
the multiverse,
multiverse of geeks.
My wife was she left. She goes on retreats. She basically runs retreats for veterans. And she just left for one. And before she was leaving, I was like, "Hey, you want to come be on the podcast?" Just sort of joking. And she's like, "I wouldn't have anything to talk about." She said, "I'm not as cool as you guys." And I said, "I don't."
Wow.
I was like, "Well, I don't really think we're that cool." But she goes, all the geeks, all the geeky stuff. And I'm like, "Oh, but that's the point of our show. It's the show for the geek in all of us. So we all geek out about something. So surely there's something you geek out about." And she said, "Well, I guess I geek out about tea. Really like tea, like tea a lot."
Sorry. You make her sound like she's an old woman.
No,
you talk like her.
Sorry, I'm just trying to be funny.
Sitting out front on her bench.
Would you rather me talk like I just like tea? No, she said that she really likes tea, and I said, "I bet there's a tea podcast." And she said, "Oh, I'm sure there is because last year I took an online class all about tea." And I'm like, "What? When?" She's like, "Last year." She's like, "Yeah, I took an online class all about tea." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "It was a free online class and I took it." And I was like, "But you're so busy all the time. When did you have time for this?" She's like, "I don't know. It was like a six-part class. So I just decided to take it." And I'm like, "What did you learn?" It's like, we just learned about different kinds of teas and how to make the best tea and how to steep it right. And I was just like, well, learn something new every day.
That's something she can geek out about.
Yeah, so
more power to you, Jen.
So maybe we'll have her on one week and she could
all about teas.
Tell us all about teas and she could spill the tea, as they say, as the kids say.
Is that what they say?
Is that what they say?
They actually do. It's like some kind of meme or something now. Like, she just spilled the tea on that thing, like talking about somebody, I guess. I don't know. Now I got to Google it.
The only thing I know of is the picture of Kermit the Frog drinking the Lipton tea.
Yeah.
But that's none of my business. That's what they usually put on there. I would say this, but that's none of my business.
Here we go. Spill the tea meaning.
Spill the tea.
Tea is slang for gossip, situation, story, or news. You can give tea, get tea, or spill tea. Tea is primarily used to describe gossip or refers to some juicy information.
True. Yeah.
Oh, she just spilled the tea. That's going to be the name of our episode.
Yeah, there's one that says, "Give us the tea, sis."
So that was what she came up with. She's like, I guess I can talk about tea.
she can geek out about.
We should have like an I Am Geek wives episode where our wives just get on and do the whole thing, and they can.
Oh, it's just them.
It's just them, and they can spill the tea.
Wow.
I can tell you. I don't know. She might do it if it's just them, but
that would be. I would listen to.
If it was about Tesla. If it was about Tesla, my wife.
Well, they could all.
That's all she would talk about.
Yeah.
Would it be like the latest? Would it be like the latest episode of Goldberg's? Where I don't know if you watched it. Where
yes.
where Beverly just talked the whole time and the other people got mad at her.
That actually, you say that, but it's actually really funny because we were watching that tonight, and there was like a big Tesla announcement today, and like every 5 to 10 minutes, Jenny would interrupt the show and start talking about the Tesla thing.
I can see,
and I go, okay. So can I hit play, or are you going to Beverly Goldberg this? And
I can see my wife, like your wife, talking about, because they're both named Jennifer, so it'd be hard. I could see my wife.
Well, it's two Chris's, so it's not that hard.
Yeah, I could see my wife, or your wife talking about Tesla the whole time, and then midway through, my wife go, "That's enough about Tesla. It's just a car." I want to make this episode happen so bad now. The Wives of Geek.
The Wives of Geek. Yeah, it might. I know that my wife thinks this is pretty ridiculous, but she's not interested at all. But she might.
She thinks the podcast is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on now. I'm going to be spilling some tea here in a minute.
She's not. Well, I should just say she's not interested at all in it. But she does enjoy talking to your wife. She doesn't know your wife, Chris, but girls can have fun together. I just
spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
You think she would understand what we're doing, because I know how our wives talk. And how they talk about TV shows and how they go in depth about them. You think she would understand about what we're doing on here, and it would make sense to her.
I know.
Maybe we need to talk about Poldark or whatever it is, and then she'd be like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah. That's true.
You got to catch up on Game of Thrones, so we can talk about that.
It's coming up pretty soon.
I've got a lot to catch up. How many seasons
are
there?
Oh, a lot.
Oh, few.
A lot of hours. Yeah.
I haven't even really. I've seen one episode. So.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You need to get past the first season because the rest of it's a lot better.
Oh, because I was bored to death.
Yeah, it gets better, especially once you know everything that's going on.
If you watch it 3 times, it gets really good.
There are kids and animals in it. There are kids and animals in it.
Oh,
yes.
Well, I know that first episode, the kid falls or gets pushed out of the window, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not that big of a deal.
That's nothing compared to everything else that happened.
I've heard the rumors of the red wedding and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, but there's also a kid that's pretty bad and mean.
Yeah.
Oh,
you kind of want
if
something
the kid's
to
bad and mean, I'm fine with it. He can get the. He had his chance. He blew it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out one day. We'll see. Is there like a it's like a TV Angel version that cuts out all the
But that's the thing is that after you get past I've noticed that with a lot of these shows lately that come out, it's like they start off the season, like True Blood was one. Of course, it's an older one.
Yeah.
And it started off with like a lot of sex in it, a lot of, and there is some later on in the series, but it's not the focus like it seemed like it was in the first season,
Yeah,
and
it's like they lure you in with all that for the first season. And they're like, "Oh, we tricked you. Hey, there's a story here. Yeah, you're hooked."
Yeah. So my point, I guess, was that Game of Thrones got better. There's still stuff in there, but it's not like in your face like it is in the first season, like with some of these shows. So I made the mistake one time of telling a friend of mine at work to watch. Well, that I was watching Orange is the New Black, and I don't know if you've all ever watched.
I've never watched that one either.
So
I watched a few seasons.
Yeah, so I've watched it up to date on it, and it's really good. You just got to get past a lot of stuff you don't want to see, right? But I told
stuff you do.
I told a friend at work about it when it first came out, and I said it's really good. You should watch it. And I didn't. I guess I figured he knew that there was probably not family friendly things in it, and he sat down to watch it with his father-in-law and wife and his wife and all these people, and he's like, "Yeah, my boss told me we should watch this."
Oh, gosh.
So, which it wasn't too big of a deal, but he was embarrassed. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, thanks." I was like, "Man, I didn't realize you were gonna watch it." And I figured you knew that it probably had some stuff in it, but I mean, it's like the first scene is a lady's chest.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, back to our
it takes place in a women's prison, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You should know these things. It's not why I watched it. It's a good story.
Oh,
I watched it because of that '70s show actress. That's why I watched.
I know, right? Yeah, you're like, oh, she's in it.
Which one?
The main girl,
the redheaded girl.
Redhead.
Oh, I didn't know she was in it.
She's got dark hair in the show.
Yeah, she's got black hair.
Well, there we go. Well,
there we go.
This has been episode 93 of High. Oh man! Speaking of redheads, dude, you got a segue there.
And somebody that's in Game of Thrones,
that I guess is in Game of Thrones, even though I wouldn't know. The trailer for Dark Phoenix.
Ooh.
X-Men Dark Phoenix. Is that what it's called? I don't know.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter? What?
Oh, that's Order of the Phoenix. Sorry.
Yeah. So Dark Phoenix trailer debuted today.
Mm-hmm.
And we all watched it.
Like late last night.
They snuck it in there. Gotta get this trailer in there.
So they're doing. They're sneaking a Hellboy trailer in tonight, like at midnight.
What?
Like
Why?
a Hellboy trailer's coming out. I don't, because it's Hellboy. I don't know.
Because people didn't respond well to the first trailer, so they're like, we better just put this one out at midnight.
We'll just sneak it in there. Nobody will notice. It'll be fine.
I guess that's the thing. It's just to put trailers out late at night now. That's when the X-Men one came out.
I guess. Yeah, so we watched the trailer. Any thoughts of seeing the new trailer for X-Men: The Last Stand?
Yes.
Are you gonna write down like our thoughts?
Oh no, I had a thought that I needed to write down while I was thinking about it.
Are we in like psychology? Or
You're
something?
laying down.
You are laying down.
I'm laying down.
Nobody can see me writing. You didn't have to point that out.
Well, I have to point out. Well, I remember where I was when the trailer came on.
Anyway, so any thoughts on
I was sitting there.
X-Men: The Last Stand, the new trailer for X-Men: The Last Stand?
I mean, it looks interesting. I'm gonna watch it.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. It didn't. I mean, there's nothing really stood out.
I thought you'd get my joke, but I guess you didn't get my joke.
I didn't get your joke.
I said, do you have any thoughts on the new trailer for X-Men: The Last Stand?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just connected in my mind as like, yeah, it's the same movie.
It's the same movie, right?
Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's the same movie. Last Stand is because that was their first telling of the Dark Phoenix, which, yeah, whatever that was.
You know, the one where Professor X comes back as a woman at the end of it, an old woman.
Yeah. Was it a woman or was it I just thought it was. I thought it was a guy.
I thought it was an old woman. I could be totally wrong though.
I thought it was a guy, a brain dead guy. Like.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Same thing, right?
Hold on.
Same thing.
I'm thinking of something else. Never mind.
Poltergeist?
I don't know what you're thinking of. But no, I mean, it looked interesting enough. I'll watch it. I think Jennifer Lawrence didn't want to be in it. based on what happens in the trailer. Which, if you don't want to be spoiled for the movie, the trailer does spoil.
It spoils the whole movie.
Surprise for the movie. Yeah. But the director wanted you to know this. I read a thing of him talking about it. Spoiler, Mystique dies. Basically,
you didn't leave much there. Spoiler, Mystique dies.
Well, I said spoiler, and then I said please, and I said spoiler again.
Why would they do that, though? I don't understand why they would do that in the trailer.
The director said he put that in the trailer because he wanted you to know that there were stakes in the movie, that characters could die, that anything could happen, and that's probably not the only death type thing. And so,
well, that's dumb. Half of the reason I want to watch movies is to go in surprise and not be like, okay, now she's gonna die. Now this is gonna happen. Now that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Jennifer Lawrence didn't want to be in it, but she was obligated to be.
Well, yeah,
and she's like, just write me out. It's basically X-Men: The Last Stand again, where Scott Summers, the actor for that, couldn't really be in the movie because he was filming Superman Returns, so they killed him in X-Men: Last Stand, so he wouldn't be in the movie.
He did get put in. Xavier did get put into a brain dead twin of Charles Xavier, talking in Patrick Stewart's voice.
In the comics?
No, this is a movie. At the end of X-Men: The Last Stand.
I don't think it was his twin. It was just a...
I don't know. It just says, we see the comatose, brain-dead twin of Charles Xavier talking in Patrick Stewart's voice.
That's not right.
I'm just saying. I don't know. Everything is saying brain-dead twin that I'm looking at.
I'm confused, but I don't think it was a twin. I thought it was just some guy.
Well, that whole movie didn't make sense. So, but with the Dark Phoenix, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter about the movie, not to be mean. And that's probably why they're saying, she's going to die. This is going to happen. And that's because it doesn't matter, because Disney bought the rights to X-Men. They're going to start it all over. So this movie doesn't, it might as well just go straight to video. I mean,
yeah.
Bad to say,
there was talk about
matter.
That they were going to put it straight on to like Hulu or something like that. There was apparently talk of that, because there's talk of that for the New Mutants movie that's not out yet. They were just going to go straight to somewhere like that, but they said they're going to release them. So yeah, I don't know. It does look like, I mean, it's not necessarily following, but it's taking a bit more from the comics, because they are up in space at one point, which is where the Phoenix first manifests in the comics, is up in space with a spaceship that's going to crash to Earth. The X-Men are on it, and she quarantines them in a room where they'll be safe while she pilots the ship down. And that's when the Phoenix Force envelops her and she survives. But in the comics, it's actually not her. Like, the spaceship crashes, the Phoenix Force is an entity, like a space alien entity thing. And when it crashes, it puts her in a comatose state under the ocean and then takes her place. So it's actually not even her in the comics the first time that happens, which that won't happen in this, because they've already shown in the last movie that she already has the power. So
yeah, I like for the most part the cast, because I loved, my favorite X-Men movie is First Class. So I like those people, and I like the their version of Quicksilver. So I like those characters. Mm-hmm. This movie will be okay. I think it'll be one of those movies you watch it and you're like, yeah, that's okay. Was it bad? Mm-hmm. Was it great? It was okay.
It's got Jessica Chastain in it.
Well, because I don't think they really care anymore. I don't think it's going to be promoted really well. I think it's just going to be it's out. You can go see it if you want to. Jennifer Lawrence dies in it. We're just going to tell you that. Go see it. If you don't, it's okay. It's one of those kind of movies. If you don't see it, it's okay. You don't have. But if you want to,
we can write this off as a loss. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, we don't got, because I'm sure Disney's like, we don't really care. one way or another. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, the trailer was the movie, so we pretty much know what happens. They're all going to be captured on a train, and Phoenix is going to come rescue them, even though she's a bad guy.
Well, it doesn't necessarily look like she was coming to rescue them.
Well, she's going to get they're,
looks like she was after them.
Yeah, or something. But at the end, she'll probably rescue them. She'll fight the dark part. Either that or everybody will just die, and they'll be like, well, we're done with that. Here you go, Disney. We killed off everybody.
she'll open up a time spatial dimensional warp that merges into the Marvel universe right when Thanos snaps his finger and then they all disappear.
Sure.
That's what's going on.
There you go.
And so, Chris, you being the resident comic guy,
sure,
and a professional animator for big time Hollywood movies and video games. So fancy.
You make me sound way better than I am.
No, you've done a lot of cool things. You did X-Men First Class, which
I did work on.
You even hid your initials in there somewhere. I won't tell anybody where.
I did hide my initials.
I couldn't find them.
I could tell people.
I looked at the picture and I'm
it's
like,
hard. Yeah, I know.
I'll get it.
It's super subtle because I put it in there first and you could see it a lot better. But my supervisor, they never saw it until like a year later. I told them it was in there, and they're like, "Oh gosh, okay." But they kept giving me notes that kind of like warped it a little bit less, and so it's very subtle that my initial CLS is in the bed frame that gets warped around Emma Frost. That Magneto warps around her, like under her like right arm. It's very subtle, but it's a fun little thing. I'm also in the movie too as a small little speck, where they filmed a bunch of us for crowd, and then digitally put us in there. So at the Lincoln Memorial, I'm down there walking along like the water somewhere.
Well, I don't know did I know that? I probably knew that.
You probably.
Yeah. So as the expert, I guess, I don't know. How would you introduce the X-Men universe into the current or into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I was thinking about that earlier today because that's what I think about. Because they're gonna have to, if they're wanting it to link up how it should, because Magneto is Scarlet Witch's father, and he was Quicksilver's father. That they're gonna have to do something to where, like, either time resets all together, which kind of just you can be able to introduce characters that were already there, they were in history, everything just there and just works, or they'll have to do something because we've already seen that the Infinity Stone can create a mutant person with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. If there's some kind of event with that ends up spawning mutants all over the world, and the characters that are already in place suddenly have their powers. So maybe Magneto is off somewhere. He's not that necessarily the greatest guy. He doesn't have any powers. Something sparks, and suddenly he has the power. And then he steps forward and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. Or there'll have to be some secret history or something that's been kept hidden from everybody. To where like they do a movie that takes place in like the 70s or something first that introduces the X-Men, but they've stayed hidden and they're more of an underground thing. They're more whispers like Batman or whatever that no one really knows if it's true or not. So yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly how they do it. It's going to be complicated.
Or do they just not? Do they just not put them in, and they just make X-Men universe like they did with the Marvel or the Avengers
Oh
universe.
no, they might. That would probably be the easiest thing, but people are going to want to see like Wolverine with Captain America at some point and stuff
I
like
don't know.
that.
I mean,
People are going to want to see it.
I heard a rumor. It's probably nothing. That there's not going to be a Marvel movie as we know it right now for a while after the release of Endgame.
I can see that.
I think there's stuff on their schedule. There's a lot of stuff that just says untitled Marvel movie.
Well, supposedly they'll reveal Phase 4 after Endgame comes out.
Yeah, there's
they'll
like a
reveal what they're going
Spider-Man
to be coming out.
sequel that's on the docket, and then there's a Morbius movie, which I didn't even. I probably knew that.
Morbius, well, that's another Fox property. It's going to be like Venom.
Yeah. Like so what I'm saying is that there's nothing on for the foreseeable future of what we know right now of the Marvel universe cinematic universe that we know right now. So I guess they may be just taking a break from that, and then
yeah, they'll do individual movies for a while again before they do another team up thing. Because I mean, they're going to do another Doctor Strange. They've already said they're going to do the third Guardians. They just don't know when.
So I don't think it'll be the same.
All that ordeal. but yeah, so we'll see what they do. I mean, I always kind of thought it was the X-Men never really worked in the main Marvel universe.
Yeah, because sort of
because it's odd to me that like, oh, everybody hates mutants because they're different, but we love Captain America and we love Iron Man and we love Ant-Man and the Wasp and we love all these guys that have all these powers.
Oh, that's because they got their powers later in life through other things. They weren't born with it, so that means they're okay. If you're born with your powers, and it's gross.
Yeah, so I don't know. That always kind of bugged me. That the people in that universe like hated all these people, that love these people, and even Spider-Man. Like, I mean, no one really knows much about Spider-Man, whether he was born with powers or not. Even though like the Daily Bugle hates him and stuff like that, but people on the street are like, yeah, we love you. But like, oh, that guy shoots eye beams out of his eyes. He just saved me, but I hate him because he's a mutant.
He's different than me. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of weird. So we'll see what they do. They'll probably do something for fan service, maybe. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll hire somebody like Ryan Johnson and make sure there is no fan service in the movie. We'll go there. Anyway. So speaking of Disney, I saw a picture online. This is something little that I thought it was funny. I sent it to you guys. I think I tweeted it out like a shared thing of Ralph Breaks Internet thing in the store by the movie, and it had a placard that said winner of best animated movie at the Academy Awards 2018, which was wrong. It should have said 2019, right?
I don't know,
but it didn't win, so that was
at any time.
I guess Disney marketing thinking we're Disney, we're gonna win.
Well, I mean, it's like the it's here's a little sports thing for you. It's like the Super Bowl where they print up like T-shirts. For both teams. Sure. So they can go ahead, like right after, start selling the winning shirts,
newspapers, and all kinds of stuff.
So what you're saying is, in a third world country, right now, Ralph Breaks Internet is the winner of the best animated feature for the Oscars.
That is what I'm saying. They don't know any different, so it's fine.
That's where all the T-shirts. That's the joke. All the T-shirts get sent to a different country where they don't know like who won.
Yeah, so I mean that's what these marketing places do. They've printed up all these stuff just in case. But yeah, I'm sure Disney's like, yeah, we're gonna win this. It's usually either Disney or Pixar. That's those only ones. But yeah, Spider-Man swooped in and stole it.
Yeah, and I still haven't seen either one of them, and I really want to see Spider-Verse. And I'm sort of like, hey, if I see Ralph Breaks Internet, I'll see it. But I don't want to like rent it or anything.
Yeah, I saw both. Ralph Breaks Internet was fun, and I mean, if you're a Disney fan, you'll like Ralph Breaks Internet because it's just chock full of just Easter eggs. And different stuff.
How does it compare to the first one? Because so I have a 4-year-old, and we watched when we thought we would take him to see Ralph Breaks the Internet. We sat down and we watched the first one, and we're sitting there going, I could just be an overprotective parent or whatever. We were like, I don't think he should watch this because there's a lot of stuff in there that's like, oh, that's not good for at the time a 3-year-old to watch.
I think I remember thinking the same thing.
You remember thinking the same thing?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything really obscene or any.
Not so much obscene, but it's like stuff that you wouldn't let your kid like say or do.
Yeah, I think anything in there in this one would probably go over their heads. There are like fart jokes and stuff like that in it because there is kind of like that type of humor with Ralph and the little girl between them quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anything necessarily that was horrible. But I don't have any kids, so I'm not going to say let them watch it. I would say you watch it and decide.
That's why I'm like, I don't want to rent it twice. But like when we saw Incredibles 2, we saw it in the theater and we like all went. And I'm sitting there like parts of it going, look at me, Grant.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why is that in this movie? Like, for a kids movie, I just don't.
Some of the language is. We watched it recently, and I was like, why did they put that in there? Why does she have to say that?
Yeah. I turned it on Netflix the other day because it's on Netflix now, which was sort of a surprise.
That's where we watched it.
And we started it, and my son goes, like, first 3 minutes of it, he goes, I don't want to watch this. And I'm like, okay. And I asked him, like, why don't you want to watch it? And he goes, because at the first of the movie, there's arguing. He goes, I don't want to sit around and watch people argue. And I'm like, that's cool. Let's watch something else then. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Ralph Breaks the Internet though, there is a scene where they basically go online. They're in the internet and they go to Disney's website in the movie. And it's just like there's Star Wars, there's Marvel, there's all the Disney princesses, which they got every Disney princess to come back, every voice actress to come back, and that whole scene is hilarious. It's like that's for me. That's where the movie really picks up, and it's really funny. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Spider-Verse is like above and beyond.
Yeah,
it's not. I wouldn't say.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say your kid should watch that because there is some. It's just violence and.
I'm gonna watch it as soon as I can rent it. I'm gonna rent it and watch it. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Sarah Silverman really either. So.
I'm not really. Either,
I don't think.
But I can stand her in that.
She could do her own thing, and that's fine. I don't have problems. Whatever she wants to do, her and John C. Reilly really. But I don't think they belong in a Disney movie. That's just me.
Yeah. John C. Reilly, you see him in something, and you're really not sure, if it's going to be a comedy or a drama until you actually see the trailer for it, because you just don't know what he's going to do. There was a movie called Sister Brothers or something that I saw. It was like him and another guy, and I'm like, I'm not really sure. Is this? And they're like in period clothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this a drama? Is this a comedy? Because the name Sister Brothers, and it has him in it. I'm really not sure what this is going to be. And I still don't know.
It's good and stuff, but I just don't think. especially with with like we were talking about the whole James Gunn thing, like Disney fire him. Like, how can you fire him for what he did years ago? But these two, you made their stars in 2 movies, and they've said some pretty bad stuff on the internet too.
Yeah. They already had them recorded for this movie by the time that happened, and that would cost millions of dollars.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't they just sort of
they're not gonna
shove that under the rug. Anyways, let's move on. Speaking of Disney,
segue.
Keep up with them segues. A lot of news vomited off the internet today, or out of the internet today. I just say that because there was just so much. It just came out all of a sudden. It's like, oh, well, there it is. All of
Disney breaks the internet.
Yeah, with Star Wars Galaxy Edge, it's been everywhere you look today. And if you're listening to this in the future, it's probably still everywhere you look. But so they dropped a whole lot of information about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and if you don't know what that is, then you probably haven't been listening to us before.
Why are you listening to us?
No, but so that's the new land in Disney Hollywood Studios and Disneyland that will be out later this year, unless you're watching it in the future or listening in the future.
Goodness.
Then it's already been out.
So the summer of 2019 in Disneyland and the late fall at Disney World.
I wish they could have lined it up so both of them at the same time, but I know why they did, because they want you to go to one and to be like, I've got to go to the other one now. But,
I guess.
Yep.
That's why they did it. We know you, Disney. Anyways, a lot of information. All these pretty pictures have popped up where there's just tons of room to walk around, and there's only 2 or 3 people there.
Yeah, never gonna happen.
Which I was bored today, so I took that picture and then added in the people you'll actually see there. many middle-aged men with cameras, couples, families.
A mom trying to catch their kids, yelling at their kids.
Bunch of balloons.
Yeah, Disney balloons. I even put a helicopter in the sky because that will happen. To show what it will really look like. And people still said, when I posted it, they're like, well, you didn't add enough people. I'm like, well, I know I didn't add enough people, but I wasn't going to sit there and add thousands of people in this picture. I filled up the picture pretty well. So, go ahead.
Yeah, Toy Story Land is kind of that way. It's just packed wall-to-wall people, except for during the extra hours that they do where you have to pay. It's a ticketed event. Yeah. You have to go either, it's not the extra magic hours like they have with if you stay on site, but you pay almost another ticket price to get.
They cap it, yeah.
Yeah, and they cap it for a certain amount of people. And I think those you can kind of see that similar kind of look where you don't see as many people because a lot of people aren't going to pay that extra because one, it's early, or it's late, or two, it's late because a lot of people go with kids, so they're not going to be able to go late or get up super early. So, I mean, there may be a time when you can get pictures like that, but I kind of doubt it with it being Star Wars, Yeah,
you all. And it just, I mean, I'm trying to understand. Maybe they have some new plan worked out, how they're going to make all the lines work and all the stuff. Because the stuff that they're saying is like, the cast members, who are the people that work there, are going to be interacting with you like they're natives of the land and all this stuff and like everything's going to work together. I'm like, how is that going to happen when there's thousands of people around you? How are they going to be elbowing through the crowd? You sir, you come here, you you buy this for 10 credits.
I want like at least 2 or 3 of them that only speak an alien language. Like they don't even speak English; they're just speaking the alien language. That's what I want. And then a bunch of puppets everywhere that are popping up and talking to people.
Well, they do have the animatronics.
Yeah, what are you doing?
The animatronics. They're going to have animatronics around the area, and they look like real. Like
sure, yeah.
For
I
real,
did see
reals.
one of them. Yeah, the traitor guy from the Rebels TV show. I
Yondu, right?
can't think of his Yondu. Yeah, I saw that one, and yeah, it's like super articulated, really nice. It's like the Beauty and the Beast that they're doing over in, was it Japan or somewhere? There's like there's an animatronic of Beauty with her horse from the movie, and it's like insane, like how meticulous it is and how it can move. But yeah, it's just like that. So that's crazy. That's wild to me.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like, this is just me being whatever. Thinking like, if that thing's going to be out in the open, it's going to break a lot. So what are they going to do? Just put up a cover picture of him or something? Like the one that's in the Avatar ride, the boat ride, the big crazy Avatar lady, animatronic. Now she did break down, and they put up a screen and just projected the image of her on there for a while they were fixing her.
Oh.
So man, if you waited all that time and then you just see a movie screen with that character, I'd be like, oh
wow.
Yeah,
nice.
It's nice.
Maybe, I mean, surely they know that there's crowds, and it's going to be ridiculous. So there must be a plan. I mean, they let's see, was it Pandora? They only let so many people in when it first opened, like during the first few weeks or whatever. Like,
yeah, but think of the line. For the ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's the park isn't that big. That particular park, it's gonna. I don't know.
Just think of these two rides look. I mean, from what I've
seen,
look great. So if a ride for Flight of Passage is still 3 hours, 300 and something minutes.
Yeah.
Just think what this is going to be. It's probably going to double that.
And it's been so long since Pandora's, or was it just this past?
No, it's been a couple years.
Yeah. So not the past, whatever. Yeah, it's it's a great ride too. But
yeah, so I'm just like thinking, like, I mean, you think they would think this through, but I mean, it's all money to them, so they probably don't. But you think they would implement a new line system for these new rides, like they did, like at Universal Studios, they have for the
the volcano thing.
Yeah, you get a time and you come back.
Yeah,
and they do it for their Jimmy Fallon ride.
Oh, okay.
You get a color card, and then you wait for your color to pop up, and then that's when you go in the ride.
Well, they did that with Dumbo. There's the circus tent, and you get a little pager, and your kids can go play, and when it's your time, it buzzes and you go. But
they won't do it.
That's different.
So when you see a certain color lightsaber, that's when you start.
I mean,
the purple one's up. Oh,
again, that park's not very big, so I wonder how long it will take before they just run out of space and you can't get in the park that day. I don't know that happened at Animal Kingdom where they wouldn't let people in anymore.
Well, no, because Animal Kingdom is much bigger than Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that's a park on its own.
I know.
Yeah. But Hollywood Studios is a park, but it's not as big as Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
so there's I mean, Toy Story Land, like I say, it's busy and has a long line for the main Slinky Dog Dash ride. That ride, and the line's ridiculously long. Yeah. And it fills up a lot of the park, I think, or at least that land.
And so
even early
lines,
in the morning.
It's just the lines are so long, and then you get on the ride, and it lasts like. Not long. But they're saying this one of these Disney or one of these Star Wars rides, it's like the ride, not the ride itself, but the experience is going to be like 28 minutes long.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, which I've not gone through the regular queue for Flight of Passage, but it's kind of similar though too, right? Because you still have some, even to the Fast Pass line, you had to stand in that little area.
It's got those two little pre-shows.
Yeah.
And then the line is very well themed. There's not like shows in the line, but it's very well themed. So, but they're saying that this is going to be like a 28-minute experience.
That's crazy. I don't see how they can do that.
It's probably just going to be stuff while you're standing in the line going on. Sort of like what they do with the Flight of Passage and what they do with the Harry Potter rides at Universal, where you go into one room and it shows a little scene, and then you go into the next room, it shows a little scene, and then you go into the next, and so on and so on and so on.
Speaking of, did you see they announced the new ride at Universal, the new Harry Potter ride?
Yeah, the Hagrid's
something.
Motorcycle. I should have all this stuff written
riding
down.
with Hagrid. His motorcycle.
And so basically, the on the motorcycle for the picture they have, just like the pictures, the photo, the stuff, the concept art, they have Hagrid on the front of it. And somebody posted, do you think it's going to be an animatronic, or do you think it's going to be a still like figure? And I responded back to them. I don't know if you guys saw. I responded back to them. I said, no, it's going to be a college student that they say, you must dress up as Hagrid and ride this ride 8 hours a day, and we'll give you college credit for it.
Oh, that's probably pretty true.
I need a break. No, you got 5 more times to go around before your break. I don't think Hagrid will be on it at all.
No.
It's sort of the concept art.
It won't even be, I think you'll be in a motorcycle car.
Yeah. But it would be funny.
There won't be anybody driving.
They did have a college student just having to ride it all day long.
Right.
Okay, that's what they did at, and we'll get back with the Galaxy Edge stuff, at Howl-O-Scream in the Busch Gardens theme park. So they had ride with with zombies and stuff. So they had scare actors in full costume, and they would have to ride the roller coaster.
Oh.
And so I saw videos of it, and some of the videos, like, they're trying so hard to stay in character. Like, they're trying so hard to be a zombie, and they're getting on these drops, and they just look like, I'm gonna puke any minute. It's coming.
Zombies don't puke.
Some do, I guess. These might.
Yeah. But so not only did they release these pictures, but they released the costumes, if you want to call them, that the cast members are going to wear, and which sort of mixed reviews, I think. We don't have pictures. This is a podcast, so look it up. Look up the pictures of the costumes. But when I looked at them, I'm like, I feel sorry for these people because they will be standing in Florida heat in these costumes all day, because they're like long sleeve, most of them, coats over top of shirts.
I'm hoping the people with the coats are like indoor actor people.
So.
There's one of them though. I was talking to Ray, our friend Ray, who comes on here. One of them to me looks like a newsie. Like the outfit just looks like an old newsy kid. And we're like, oh yeah, well, I mean, they'll be interacting with you, and they'll start doing musicals with you. Yeah. It's like, oh, here in a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars. Well, they have to do that over and over again.
Yeah. One of them looks like Raiden from Mortal Kombat with his little hat.
Yeah, like a bowl on his head.
Yeah.
You want to make you some stir fry? I got my wok here on my head.
I think they look cheap.
The faces of these people, I'm looking at the picture right now. They're looking like, what have we gotten ourselves into?
Yeah. It's Star Wars.
There's some that are like ponchos, which would be good for the Florida rain, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the newsy one. Yep, I see that one.
There's a couple of them that look pretty good, but most of them just look like cheap Halloween costumes or somebody trying to cosplay or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the one in the parka and the beanie or toboggan, whatever you call it, from where you're from, that one looks like what? And he's got like knee-high boots, a parka, like a legit-looking parka, long sleeve, goes down past his waist, and a toboggan beanie on his head. I'm like, that better be indoors. I'm just going to go walk around to that guy and be like, I'm so sorry. You're having to wear this.
And he'll go, Misa no gudada.
He'll say, please help me. Please. I'll be Hagrid. Just get me out of here. And they said their name tags are going to look different, but they have a picture of their name tag. I'm sorry, it just looks like a Disney name tag.
It's their name in a different language underneath. So
well,
right?
It looks like this one says Josh, and it looks like it says Zone underneath. I'm in the Josh zone.
Let's say Josh in Gungan.
Oh,
zone.
Man, I wish there was going to be Gungans there, but probably won't because this is all based on the current trilogy, which a lot of people were disappointed. They're like, "You mean we don't get a real stormtroopers? We get the First Order troopers?" And yes, that's Disney. That's of course they would do that because that's what they're promoting right now.
Maybe they have like old school like clone troopers or whatever. Like, hey, look what I found.
Probably not. So basically, that tells me that part of the land will be really good, and then part of the park, if we're basing it on the third on this trilogy, then part of the park won't be good at all. But then you'll get to the next part, and it'll be good again, probably, right?
We think
based on the trilogies.
Yeah. Well, you'll go to the first park and you'll get like a corn dog to eat. You'll walk into the second one, they'll be like, no, that's not a corn dog. That's an ostrich leg. And you're like, what? And then you go back. Then you go to the next part. They're like, no, just kidding. That is a corn dog, and that's what you're eating.
Speaking of food,
they trick you in the middle.
Yeah. They did come out with their food pictures menu, which
also fancy.
They're all different, bright colors, of
exotic
drinks. There's the Fatro and the Moof juice. These are non-alcoholic, kid-friendly drinks. They can be found at the Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. Basically, it's a red drink and an orange drink with ice in it. I wonder what kind
They got the blue milk and the green milk.
Yeah. I'm wondering how what they're going to come in. Like if this is supposed to be like you're there, they're not going to come in Disney cups, right?
I don't know. Well, I'm just hoping that for the green milk, the station where you get it, like above it is that creature.
Yes.
From the last movie, just sitting there, like right on top of it, and it's connected to like the little holes and yeah, poops out the milk for you.
So gross. It is not. It's going to be milk. They're going to be milk free, so everybody can drink them.
Well.
So who knows what they're going to be like? I don't really want. It's going to be like a milk alternative. So basically, it's going to be a blue, milky substance. And then there have some other one called the Carbon Freeze, one called Oga's Obsession, and one called Cliff Dweller. The one looks like it's got smoke coming off of it, like it's been frozen in carbonite or whatever. One's like a green bowl looking thing, but I guess it's a drink. It looks like a petri dish.
I guess. It looks like a hue light. It looks like a hue light that you set up and turn on. That's what that looks like.
It looks like a petri dish because it's got weird stuff growing on top of it.
Oh, that's the Jello. That's a Jello style dessert, isn't it? Is that what that is?
It's like it just says these non-alcoholic drinks, which vaguely look like potions, can be found at Oga's Cantina.
Okay, yeah, the Oga's Obsession, that green thing, that's a Jello style dessert. It's like a treat.
Why do they call it a non-alcoholic drink? I don't know. And the other one looks like a lightly colored sweet tea.
Yes. Yeah, there's like several different things. There's one thing. It's the blue milk with a cookie on top of it.
Yeah, they have their morning drinks. These are for the morning. It's a Star Wars take on a Bloody Mary served with bone-shaped garnish. Ugh, gross. Come on.
Bone shaped?
Yeah, it's got a bone on top of it.
Yeah, it's a bone. It's just a bone.
Bone.
And then there's the food. They have these things that look like a hot dog taco. It's a spicy sausage and roasted pork, but it looks like a taco, like a soft shell taco with a hot dog in it.
It does.
Yeah.
It's well, that's the meat from the Ronto, giant dinosaur-like domesticated beast that the Jawas ride. Like some of these I've read, it's like yeah, they're all from meat. They're all from animals that you ride.
Yeah.
Because there's the Kadu ribs, which is a featherless ostrich-looking creature that the Gungans ride. But I guess when they're done riding them, they kill them and then eat them.
Well, maybe not the Gungans, but maybe the other people that live on Naboo. The Naboo people are like, "Oh, this is our delicacy. We're stealing your animals that you ride and we're eating them."
And they're like, "Spot, no, that's my pet."
And they have some kind of weird popcorn. It looks like something a dog would throw up. That's just I don't know, or it looks like a potpourri bowl you would find in Grandma's house.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a mixes sweet, savory, and spicy flavors. So buckle up. That's what it says. And then the desserts are just like a passion fruit mousse and a chocolate cake.
Yeah, but they ruin the chocolate cake with a coffee flavored custard. I want coffee.
So
chocolate.
Yeah, and then there's pasta with kale and mushrooms, beef pot roast. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be good. The stuff in Pandora, I was like, I don't know about this, and then I ate it, and I was like, oh, it's actually really good. So I'm sure it'll be good. It just nothing sticks out to me. That's nothing. I guess the blue milk is supposed to be their butter beer, but I don't know. Maybe if it was a blue milkshake.
I like.
Yeah,
I like the Ithorian garden loaf concoction of.
I laid one of those
origin.
today in the bathroom.
I was like, yeah, they don't even know what it is, but eat it.
Eat it. I laid one of them garden loaves today in the toilet.
It's a vegetarian option.
And of course, they released pictures of the toys that you could buy. If you're going to go there, you got to buy all the souvenirs. Not only the weird hot dog tacos, you got to buy all the toys. And so they're going to have a lot of toys that look like that they were made in the Star Wars universe. So basically, toys look like they were made on a desert planet by, I don't know, they're just little dolls. Look, the dolls, like it's dolls of characters, and they're supposed to look like they were made in the Star Wars universe. But to me, they look like they were made at Hallmark.
Yeah, they're cute.
Yeah, they're cutesy. What are those things called at Hallmark you can get? They have Star Wars ones there. I don't know. They're little stuffed animals. I forget what they're called.
Probably made by
Precious
Funko.
Moments.
No. They're like these little stuffed animal things. But then they, I guess, they're gonna have a place where you can make your own lightsaber.
But did you see one of the toys is what is the? Oh gosh, I just lost it. What's the thing that makes the annoying sounds? That
porg?
Chewbacca. Yeah, porg. They have a cooked porg as one of the toys. It looks like.
What?
What?
Yeah, there's a picture on the. I don't know if you can look on the. But it looks like a turkey.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it looks.
I think that's supposed to be a wooden. I think that's supposed to be a wooden porg.
Yeah, it's a cooked porg.
I like they have the creatures that attack Han Solo in the Force Awakens. That Han Solo and Chewbacca capture and they get released. Yeah. Just the ball with the tentacles out.
Yeah.
It looks so disgusting.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I want that, Mom. Okay. Sure.
So the lightsabers look. I mean, if this is what they're going to look like, they look pretty.
Yeah,
sweet.
They look good. Yeah, we bought one of the lightsabers where you can make custom lightsabers. We bought that one time, and you could take all these different parts from different lightsabers, but they're huge. Like we ended up making a Kylo Ren one, and it's way bigger than the ones that you buy like at Target that are the blade whatever things where you build one. I hate it. It's got a flashlight in it, of course, but it makes noises, but it's so bulky. But these look a lot better. So
it looks like what they're doing is what they did at the Wizarding World at Universal, basically like they do with Ollivanders. But instead of making the wand choosing you, you're going in there and the kyber crystal chooses you. And then you build your lightsaber around the kyber crystal. There's a whole story behind it. And that's how they get you to buy it.
Kind of like the, what do you call it? The thing that, man, I'm really good tonight at Pandora that you put on your shoulder.
Oh, one of those that you have?
Yeah, it's great.
I still haven't done Ollivanders. I really want to do that sometime.
Ollivanders is cool. I've done Ollivanders. That's fun. I do like that they got the holocrons from Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
And they look cool. And like you can put like kyber crystals inside of them, and supposedly reveals different things or something. That was cool.
Yeah, it does. It looks really cool.
Did you see the part about your phone? There's an app that you can. I don't know if it would be the Disney app or what, but it says your phone will transform into your very own in-universe data pad.
Yeah.
It's the Parks app, Disney Parks app. Okay, so it switches to Star Wars mode, and it will unlock a whole bunch of new missions, stories, and ways to interact with the land. That, for the very first time, is built into the land from the very beginning. You will be able to translate languages and signs, hack droids, message characters like Hondo, Odaka, and much more.
Hondo, that's his name. Hondo, not Yondo.
Yeah, Hondo, that was it. Yeah, that's the animal.
My bad.
But that's pretty cool. They talked about that when they announced all this. They said it's going to be an immersive experience, and we're like, what does that mean? And that's part of it, I guess.
The clothing looks cool.
That you can buy.
Yeah, the outfitter stuff. You can mix and match. And I'm guessing you can see lightsabers on the belts of the mannequins.
Sure.
And so you kind of deduce the size, I guess, the lightsaber that you can make. Which for kids they look giant.
Yeah,
for adults,
they look giant. Those
normal size.
I guess.
They look a little bigger, yeah.
Which is that looks a lot like what we got. So maybe it is the same lightsabers. It is huge though. I don't know. And then they have the droid, build a droid. Of course, that's been there. They took it out when they started all this from the exit of Star Tours, right?
Yeah.
And you could go in there and get parts to build your own droid. That's pretty fun.
That's cool.
But
these look these are different. These droids because they respond to stuff in the land as you walk through.
Oh, okay. So it's more like the one that you can build that you buy and all. Okay.
So it says as you're going through the land, they'll actually receive signals and react differently depending on where you are in the world of Black Spire Outpost.
Those are going to be so expensive.
Yeah.
And then suddenly things turn, and it's like the episode of The Simpsons in Itchy and Scratchy Land, where all the robots
take over,
decide to kill you. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
So the lightsabers, it says that the guests can customize and build high-end lightsabers.
No. Well, okay.
So maybe they'll have different price level ones you can do.
I'm sure.
There's 4 choices of force-attuned kyber crystals to put inside that will determine the color of the blade: red, blue, green, or purple. Cool. No yellow?
I feel like we saw something like that recently.
There could only be one purple one. That doesn't make sense.
And then they're going to have other like weird stuff like busts of characters. Like, you want a Plo Koon bust? We've got him.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Love Plo Koon. Was he the guy in the video you could play in the video game?
Yeah, he's the guy. He's got his eyes are covered, and he's got the sort of tusk
little tusk things. I like playing him in the game. I can't remember what game was that.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
Yeah, he was a good character. He was kind of a heavy bruiser, I think, type fighter.
It says that droid and other toy prices are still being determined. So in other words, this is what that says to me. In other words, we put these pictures out there to see what the buzz is going to be. If the buzz is really crazy, we're going to hike the price up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I imagine, like I said, those droids will be like that, whatever, the thing over at Pandora, for sure. So like $60. Because if it's something you build and it interacts with things, they're going to make that expensive, which it doesn't need to be. Whatever.
And then these costumes that you can buy, I'm sure, are going to play into the whole resort, the hotel when it opens.
Sure.
Hey, you're staying in in the Star Wars hotel. You're part of the story. You got to dress the part. So here's our collection of outfits to buy.
You just put on the bathrobe that they give you in the hotel and just walk around. That'll work.
No, you have to wear this. But we love Disney World.
It's going to be awesome, but the crowds are going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which makes you like, when do you want to
I know.
When do you want to go?
I was talking to somebody at work the other day. I was like, we were on this pattern of going every 2 years, which we didn't intend to be on, but that's just the way it ended up. And I just don't know if I want to go next year. Next year would be the next time, and I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be worth going, because even though everybody will be there, they still got to go to other parks while they're there. So it's going to be a mess.
I'm still waiting for the Pandora lines to go down before I go. I haven't gone yet.
Well, you just got to go and tell them you have.
Just come with me.
Okay.
Anyways, we won't know.
I can get that pass too. So.
Yeah, you probably can.
Well, we have annual passes that run out in October, and I sort of want to go to Disneyland the next time I go to a Disney park.
Yeah,
because I've never been. I just want to experience Disneyland.
Yeah, it's fun, but Disney World's better. I've been. It's nostalgia. I mean, it's.
I've never been, and I would like to go once at least.
Yeah.
No, you should go. You should go once at least. But I mean, once you go that once, though, you'll be like, okay, I've been there once. Back to Disney World.
But they'll have Star Wars there too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the good thing. Go ahead.
It's just like driving into Disney World is like driving into like its own. It's like a city.
I know. Yeah.
Driving into Disneyland, it's like, oh, I'm driving through LA. Oh, I'm driving through all this California
traffic. If I went to Disneyland, I would use our points and I would stay at Disneyland at one of their hotels.
That's gonna take all your points just to stay in Disneyland.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, you could. Yeah,
that's the only way that I would do it. I would arrive, go straight from the airport to Disneyland, stay there. Not try to battle traffic. Stay and go to the two parks and all that stuff, and then go back home.
Let's see. I've heard there's not much advantage of staying in a Disney park, except that you have your points. But I've heard there are actually hotels that are closer that aren't Disney that you can walk over straight over.
Yeah, we stayed at a hotel that was just like right there.
Yeah,
and you can just walk across the street.
Not Disney,
and it's so much cheaper. And it's a really nice hotel. But the hotel, because we were going to stay in one of those.
I know.
Yeah.
They have one that you walk.
No,
they have one that you walk from the lobby. You walk out the lobby door straight into the park. You don't even have to go through turnstiles. You go straight into the park.
Yeah, okay.
That's the one I would probably stay
at. We've seen that. It's a cool one, but I don't know. Depending on how many points you get, like I don't even know if you can
borrow from next year.
If you can even to borrow. I'm not trying to discourage you.
No, it's set up.
Saying,
like
it's just insane.
There are
it's just
DVC parts of it where it's not like DVC the way I have to go through all this now, aren't I? The way DVC works is like they set up points. It's not like this hotel is way expensive over here, and you're going to have to use this many more. Some of them do use more points, but it's not like crazy amount of points. Like it's a Disney property, it only takes this much points. They can't make it go past a certain level, so they can't be like, well, in Disneyland, it's going to be 150 points a night, opposed to Disney World where it's like 12 points a night. They can't do that. So trust me, I've got all the information. I also want to go on a Disney cruise. We can use our points for that too if we want to.
So that's what we
definitely need to go on a cruise.
That's what we ought to do. Avoid the parks because it's going to be crazy for a while. So we should just go to do a Disney cruise this next time.
Just come with us on a cruise.
We don't want to go with you.
Yeah,
we can make it a pod cruise, right?
Yeah, it could be a pod cruise.
Yeah.
There you go.
I am Geek Pod Cruise.
Oh my goodness.
Disney Pod
Cruise.
Yeah,
that's why I haven't been to Disney World in forever, is we keep going on the cruise because it's so nice.
Well, we're trying to think about the cruise with the age of our kids, so we want to wait a little bit.
Yeah, they at least have to be potty trained.
So Charlie can
in order to take them on the cruise.
No, he is.
So, Katrin, you can't go.
He's 7.5.
Wait, they have to be potty trained to take them on the cruise?
Well, to do
to do the
rooms or the kids.
To do the kids stuff,
Sorry,
they have to be potty trained. and that's a cruise that you'll want to basically give up your kids to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because the kids will have more fun that way.
So. We should either wait a little bit or just send the kids to the grandparents.
Yeah. There you go.
We're going to go on a business trip, kids. But I do want to, even if it's just me, some point in the next year or two, I would like to go see Galaxy's Edge. Even if I don't take the family, just sneak over there, find a cheap plane ticket.
Well, that would definitely be easier.
Yeah. Just go in, check it out, and then be like, okay, and then leave.
So your wife just wakes up one morning and like, where's Ryan?
There's a note on the side of the bed that says, I found a cheap plane ticket. I'll be back.
Dear Jen. I'll be back.
You're on the podcast this week. I'm going to Disney.
Yeah. Talk about tea or something. I don't
know. Yeah. We spilled a lot of tea this episode.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even talk about half the stuff we were going to talk about, and we're already at over an hour. Man. The other news that happened this week, and it happened last week, I guess. But we had the Geekies. If you haven't checked out the Geekies, go check it out, because let me tell you, it's a very popular episode.
It's blowing up,
especially with the robots.
As the kids say.
Go check it out. It was a fun one. You get to hear me sing 3 songs, which may be a turn on or turn off. I don't know.
You get to hear me do
to listen to it, not to
couple voices. That
not like that. This isn't Game of Thrones. Come on.
Oh my!
That's how I got my wife.
Yeah, true story.
True story. But we had fun one. So go check out the Geekies if you haven't listened to it. What was I saying?
You just said it.
I'm guessing you were going to the Netflix stuff.
We didn't get to talk. Yeah, but Netflix officially canceled all their Marvel shows. They're gone. There will be airing the Jessica Jones, but they've canceled all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumor that I've heard about spill some tea here.
Oh,
is that how the kids
get a little
closer
to the speaker?
Is that how the kids whisper to the microphone? Is that the real reason that Netflix canceled the show is because they want everybody to know, and they want to prove that they are bigger than any IP. That they don't need IPs anymore. That they are Netflix, the biggest streaming service there is, and it was cool to use them at the beginning, but they're so big now that they don't need the little Marvel shows and stuff, that they've developed their own studio, their own shows, their own series, and they don't need these anymore. So that's the rumor going around. Netflix
I don't know about that.
Too big. At least that's what Netflix is telling people. Disney probably has other ideas saying we don't want you to have our stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Which stinks because they could have moved. They could have moved it to something, to the Disney thing.
Yeah, Well, what I heard was that they're in the contract that once Disney pulls that stuff from Netflix, they have to wait a certain number of years before they can use those characters in anything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're going to put those characters on something in the future at some point, but they have to pull it first and wait that time period in order to be able to use them again. Which, I mean, they've got their Disney Plus. They're apparently trying to buy more stock in Hulu, which they already own stock in Hulu. They're trying to buy up some other stock from another company so they have even more stock in Hulu. So, because they like to put stuff on Hulu, there's the Runaways. There's going to be 3 animated shows with Howard the Duck, MODOK, and Tigress and Dazzler that they're putting on Hulu. So, they're kind of making their own corner places for their.
Well, I wonder when all these are going to disappear from Netflix and you can't watch them at all.
Oh, eventually they probably will.
I just wonder how long, and then they'll pop up on how long I have to watch them.
Watch them now.
I finished Iron Fist, and I was actually very impressed. I liked it. It left me wanting more, and now there's not going to be any more. Yeah. I won't ruin what happens if you haven't watched it, but it's actually better than the first season. I thought.
Yeah, it is better than the first season. You need to watch The Punisher, both first and second season.
You know my rule.
It's good.
If you can give me an episode to start with that skips over all the death of children, then okay.
Well, there's not really death of children in it. That already happened in the past.
Yeah, but they show it, don't they?
This picks up.
There's one episode where it shows it, I think, or you assume that's what's happening. I don't think it.
Yeah, I don't think they show it.
Yeah,
they never actually show kids getting gunned down.
They would
like that.
Yeah, they would have to.
They
show
just allude to it.
Yeah.
I may watch it. I still got to watch probably the next thing I'm going to watch is the latest or the last season of Daredevil, because I haven't watched that one yet.
Oh, that one's good.
And I still have a few episodes of Luke Cage. I sort of got tired of that and moved to something else. I need to go back and finish that.
I kind of finished it. I was on the last episode. I fell asleep in the middle of it. Woke up, saw the ending. I was like, okay, I watched it.
Yeah. I really liked the first season of Luke Cage, but the second season was sort of slow to me.
It was slow to start, but it got better.
Yeah. It got better, but it was still, I don't know. It wasn't as good. The first season was much better for Luke Cage.
Anyway, so all the Netflix Marvel shows have been canceled. But don't worry, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back, so we always have that.
Yeah.
Anyways, next time maybe we'll talk about Umbrella Academy. Hopefully Chris will have watched it by that. Hopefully his wife will let him watch it. I finished it. That's my watch the streaming of the week, Umbrella Academy. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. For me personally, best show on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
I rarely binge shows. There's 10 episodes. I didn't binge them all in one sitting, but basically the last week I've been watching Umbrella Academy and I finished it. So good. Hopefully they make a season 2. Hopefully.
I'm sure that I think they are. I think they will. I guess since I have watched all that. I guess what you're streaming for me this week. When you say it, what you streaming, you got to move your head when you say it. What you streaming?
Well, nobody can see that.
No one can see it, but you got to do it. I would suggest this is a more adult fare on Netflix. I mean, there's not I think maybe a little bit of nudity, but no, it's mostly language. But it's a show called Russian Doll, and it has the main actress was in Orange Is the New Black. She was in the American Pie movies, but it's like Happy Death Day or Groundhog's Day, where a person keeps repeating the same day over and over again.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
but it only repeats after she dies. Like stuff keeps happening and kills her,
Happy Death
and she
Day.
goes back. Yeah, it's basically Happy Death Day, but it's not a killer.
Thing.
There's not like a killer after. It's just like accidents and stuff happen to her, and basically she's trying to figure out why it's going on. And it's humorous. It's a dark humor. It's an interesting show. It's like 8 episodes long. It's something like that. It's not even that long. But I'd recommend it. I thought it was fun.
Oh, also, I actually went to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in a while. I went to the movies Tuesday night for the $5 movie night, and I saw wrestling with my family.
How was that?
It was so good. I know you probably think I'm kidding, but especially if you're a wrestling fan, go see this movie, Wrestling with My Family. But the story of Paige, the WWE wrestler, it was so funny. It was like heartwarming, moving. But it was so good. I loved it. Go see it. And it was so cool seeing wrestling on the big screen. That was really cool because they had like old clips of like wrestling, that stuff like she would watch growing up and stuff. And but yeah, it was fun. Like I think both of you would like it, like if you watched it, because I mean the guy that directed it is hilarious. Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, he's the director, and it was produced by The Rock. He's actually in the movie. He plays like a small part in the movie. Stephen Moffat. So that I think it's Stephen Moffat. I don't know. The big tall guy, really tall. Hold on, we're so over.
Yeah, I gotta look
it up. It's a long episode. Fighting with My Family. What did I say? Wrestling with My Family.
Wrestling with My Family. That's a different one.
Sorry, it's Fighting with My Family. I don't know why I called it Wrestling.
Director Stephen Merchant.
Merchant, that's his name.
Oh, Stephen Merchant. Okay, yeah. Oh, he's funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious. But he plays a small role in the movie. Fighting with My Family. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad saying Wrestling with My Family. That's dumb of me.
And Nick Frost. I want to see it because Nick Frost is in it.
Oh, he's hilarious in it.
Vince Vaughn's in it?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Vince.
Oh yeah, it's like it brings you back to like dodgeball days when Vince Vaughn's on the screen, because he plays like the basically the coach at the performance center that's testing out the wrestlers to see if they're worthy of being in the WWE. But Fighting with My Family, go see it. It's actually one that you should see in the theaters, because if you're a wrestling fan, because just to see wrestling on the big screen. The last time we saw that was probably Ready to Rumble. Remember that movie?
Right. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So Fighting with My Family, not Wrestling with My Family. That's another movie. Fighting with My Family. Go see that. Patron, you got anything? Or you watched anything?
I guess so. I guess the only thing I'm probably streaming is to finish the Umbrella Academy. I haven't gotten to finish it yet. I've been playing a lot of video games, so I've not made time for streaming. So.
Yeah, we'll have to do an episode on that, or at least part of an episode, because there's a lot of stuff that I'd like to talk to you guys about it and be like, what did you think of this part of it, and how they did this character, and because it was very interesting. But yeah, so watch Umbrella Academy and go see Fighting with My Family. You won't regret it if you're like-minded like us, I guess. If you like the stuff we like, you'll like it. Anyways, so yeah. There we go. Well, this has been sort of a long episode, but I've had fun. Spilling the tea with everybody.
Spilling the tea.
Yeah, so much tea spilled.
If you have listened to our Geekies episode, and you don't mind, give us, tell us on social media, hey, I listened to it, whether you liked it or not. We're just trying to judge how many people actually listen to it, because there's been some crazy stuff going on. So let us know if you listened to the Geekies episode, or any episode.
Yeah.
Tell us your favorite. Okay.
Yeah, give us a review on iTunes. That would really help out a lot. We appreciate any reviews that we get.
Any 5-star reviews that we get. Yes.
If you've got a bad one, send us a private message on Twitter. But we really appreciate everybody that listens and comes back and not just listens to one episode, but comes back week to week. So we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Yeah. Buy a t-shirt.
Buy a t-shirt. Or a backpack if I get around to making it.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for joining us. You guys are awesome. Thanks for listening to I Am Geek, and we will talk with you.
What?